sea sweeps me into an ocean of bliss, an enticing and passionate kiss. This is magic.
If you love jazz, well, then you love the Jazz Lovers Club and everything to do with it. Therefore, you're going to love our next guest from Sass Jazz Blues Quartet. Welcome to the program. We want to welcome Sharon Ray and Shelley Davis. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And so tell us a little bit about Sass. It's a little bit of initials kind of thing going on there.
That's
you guys
right.
are, sometimes you're a duo, sometimes you're a quartet, but this time coming up for the big show you're having, you're a quartet.
Yes, that's right. Yes. Well, Sass, Sharon, and Shelley. Yes, we've been playing together for like over 40 years, and also married, and so it's been a lot of fun. And now that we're here in Laguna Woods, we've been here about a year and a half. The Jazz Lovers Club just kind of came up at the same time that we got here.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
it's just a perfect fit, and so we did a duo show for them in October, and so now we're going to do working with the bass player and the drummer, some great players that have been around this area, and so we're excited about that. You know, it's really wonderful to be able to have a full band, because a lot of times with the duo, Sharon will actually play the drums.
Okay.
And,
little Sharon Carpenter kind of thing.
And well, while she's saying, well, just a snare drum, and then I'll play the bass with my left hand. So it's its own challenge and art form of its own to just do it like that. But when you have a band, you can really kick it up.
Okay. Well, Sharon, when you first met Shelley 40 years ago, did you say to yourself, this is going to last, this is going to be a thing?
I had no idea. I just knew there was something special going on.
Okay. Now, did you meet as musicians first, or were you in a
Yes.
relationship first and said, okay, let's do a band?
As musicians,
Wow, okay.
I went to a jazz jam a friend of mine had, and here was this man on stage, and he was, and I was just sitting there with my friend who was a musician, and we were listening, and my friend said, "Do you want to meet the new guy in town?" I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And so we met, and then something just happened like that.
Terrific.
We said, let's get together and see how it works. And we got together. He came by and played my little keyboard, and it sounded great. And we've been playing ever since.
Oh, Shelley. Now, where's your background, Shelley? Were you musically trained? Did you come up through the fine arts schools and all of those things?
Well, my mom was a piano teacher,
Okay.
so that always helps. And of course, and it's just in the family. In my family, either you played the violin or the piano. And we would be paraded out in front of the relatives.
That's
right.
Yeah. So that's just what you were expected to do. But I was fortunate that I was exposed to jazz at a young age. My grandfather had like 78's Teddy Wilson, and so. And my uncle played the jazz saxophone, and so just kind of really inundated with that. And
Sharon, did you always want to be a singer? Did you say to yourself, this is it?
It was kind of similar. I grew up, my father was a big band leader. He was and he traveled all the time, all over the United States. So if we wanted to be with him, we had to travel too. So it was one of those
So you were a bit of a roadie at first.
Not quite the roadie, but it turned into that. But yes, I just had no idea that we had no idea. We just, I just wanted to go and play music from the time I was just very young. My father encouraged it. He was, that's all he cared about, was playing music and traveling. And so that's what we did. Yeah. And I learned how to sing. I was listening to the people that I guess he grew up on, Sarah Vaughan and Count Basie and all these different people, Joe Williams, and these types of way beyond my years.
But it was what a great background for you. What a great foundation for you.
It really was when it comes to jazz, yeah. But I was also living during the summer months, at my grandparents' house, and they are the ones who had all the 78s and such, like Sarah Vaughan albums, and I got to learn a lot from them, and so.
So you guys learned the gypsy life of traveling musicians early on in life.
There's good and bad to that. Yes, I had to for myself. We were always having to travel, and so we didn't really have any. I think that Shelley came from a little bit different background.
Yeah, I had a more stable home life.
You just paraded out to the living room for performance and paraded back to your room, and that was your traveling.
Well, I ended up starting to work professionally at a young age. At 16, I was already working at a resort over the summer, playing, and by the time I was 18, 19 years old, I was on the road, constantly with a pretty successful band. And
you guys were set at an early time. I really kind of like you're doing these things you love, and it just comes, right? It just gigs fall into your laps. I'm not saying it's not work, but it's like when you're in that world, you're meeting other people, you're getting opportunities, right? You're living that life.
You're living that life and you feel comfortable in it. You don't feel awkward. Or I think that some people might feel awkward if they were getting into the music business at a later time in their life. But this is something, when you grow up in it, you think, oh, this is natural.
Right.
Oh, I'm supposed to live in hotel rooms.
Right.
Or,
what's weird about this?
Pull over the side of the road and sleep in the car. So, yeah, it was not unusual to grow up like that, and so it was life.
There you go.
Life.
Well, I want to talk about the show you guys have coming up Friday, March 1st, Clubhouse 7. It's the Sass Jazz and Blues Quartet. A couple more folks joining you. Let's take a listen to the music real quick, and then we'll come back and ask a little bit more about the quartet.
Sure.
Sweeps me into an ocean of bliss, an enticing and passionate kiss. This is magic I feel. I like good wine, fine cuisine, candlelight. I just love the scene. Baby, if you know what I mean, I just love being here with you. That's right. Got the St. Louis blues, just as blue as I can be. That man got a heart like a rock cast into the sea.
Well, I don't think I need to sell anybody on your performances or your voice either, so I think that clip says it all. Again, I want to type Friday, March 1st, Clubhouse 7. Doors open at 3:45, and at 4 o'clock, admission is $7, and it sounds like an amazing opportunity for folks to get out there and hear some great jazz, some great blues. Tell me a little bit about the other musicians that are joining you guys on stage.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we've got on bass Baba Elefante and on drums Steve Dixon. And they are the bass player and drummer that work with Ron Kobayashi, who's a pretty well-known jazz pianist here in the area. So when we came here, what I did was I checked out to see who's around. And for a pianist, with a keyboard player, which I am, you like to get a bass player and a drummer as a pair because they're used to working together,
Right. They know each other's
and
stuff.
I felt like Ron kind of plays in a style like I do. So it's really about that connection, and so we create a foundation for Sharon's vocals. Plus, I'll be doing instrumentals too, and as jazz players, we create things that aren't necessarily all written down and planned. That's what it's about. It's that improvisation upon a structure of something, but also having a groove happening. And I could tell, these guys are going to work out for us. So, so we've gotten together, and we're excited about that.
Sharon, weren't you supposed to come here and retire? Weren't you supposed to come here and retire? You sound like you're working pretty hard these days.
No, I never think like that. I'm always open to new things. I had no preconceived ideas that I was going to retire.
For folks who want to get out there and they don't want to retire, these guys are not retiring anytime soon. Jazz Lovers Club Laguna Woods presents Jazz in the Woods 2. It's the sequel. It's going to be better than the original. I guarantee you, folks. Come out there and see Sass Jazz and Blues Quartet. Sharon and Shelley, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. We've enjoyed it very much.
We want to thank the Jazz Lovers Club for putting this on, and we think it's a wonderful thing that we're trying to foster a greater appreciation for jazz here in the village and throughout.
Let's make it happen. It's going to be March 1st. Get out there and enjoy the show, folks. You're watching This Day.
That man got a heart like a rock cast into the sea. Spirit of the sea sweeps me into an ocean of bliss. An enticing and passionate kiss. This is magic.